Hello, everyone. This is Holly. I'm going to share the link for folks to join us and hope to have a few folks joining us soon. So hang on just a minute. If you're new to our class, I post the link for our Hangouts on our 7H website every week in our chat, our site chat. And I'm just posting it now. And I hope a few folks will join us. Looks like we might have a new member joining us today, someone I haven't talked with in quite a while. And the opening topic suggestion for today, our challenge, is both to avoid talking politics today. I'm hoping that we can avoid politics, not because we won't talk about them ever, but because I'm looking for a break from talking about politics. Hard to do in today's world. So maybe it will find its way in. And here's Daria. Hello.
Hello.
Nice to see you again, or see you and talk with you again.
Nice to see you here.
And I hope a few others will join us today too. Trying to turn my sound down a little. I think it's a little loud. So I had proposed that we talk about idioms to do with spring today, starting with the idiom when something springs to mind. And when I posted that question on the site, the first thing that sprung to mind for me was I had just used the word startled. And so asking the last time that something startled me. So I shared that I was startled. I shared what had startled me. And I'm wondering if you can remember something that startled you recently.
Like startled means making you surprised.
Right. Yeah. When something unexpected makes you go, so sometimes for me, when a spider lands near me, and the example I used was not a spider, but a stink bug went buzz, buzzing in front of my face. We have a terrible problem with these little smelly bugs. If you touch them or when they land on you, they send out an odor that's terrible. Uh, and so I was startled by a smelly stink bug. But I wondered if you remember the last time you were startled.
Well, actually, I was startled by hearing the story of the Great Wall of China.
Really?
I mean,
Hearing this, a new
some people,
story?
some people call it the longest cemetery. I was startled,
The longest cemetery?
right?
Hmm.
Because when many workers were building the Great Wall, lots of them died, and
Ah,
then they built the Great Wall on it. I was really startled when I heard this one.
yeah. Many large features, walls, bridges, fences, um, dams to stop rivers. Many of them have a lot of fatalities. And hello to Vasanth. Can you hear us? I hope I see him joining. I don't see his video or hear him yet, but I see that he tried to join. Yeah, so I didn't realize that the Great Wall of China, when you think about it, it's not hard to imagine. Have you ever seen any of the Great Wall?
Well, I just saw its pictures on the internet and on the books, but I haven't visited.
Yeah, I haven't either. Many people who have are fascinated, and just when I look at maps and realize how huge, how long this wall was, is startling enough. But yeah, do you remember a number, approximate number of how many people have died?
I don't remember, but I just heard lots of people died,
Yeah,
especially workers.
yeah. And were they buried in the wall or near the wall? Is that part of why they call it a cemetery, or just to give the idea that people died?
Well, yeah, while building, people died, and on it they built the wall. Um,
On their graves?
yes, on the graves they built.
Oh, so they're buried under the wall.
Yes,
Oh,
so I was really surprised when I heard.
yeah. Yeah, that is news to me as well. Oh, and for families to have to find the spot if they know where it is along the wall. Wow. Wow. Here's Vasanth trying again. I hope he connects this time. Yay! There he is. Hello. I'm
Okay. Hello.
disappearing. Hello. Hello, Vasant.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
We
Hello.
have a new face today. Hello.
Yeah. So, do you know each other?
Uh,
Yeah,
no.
my first time here.
Okay. So, I'll let you introduce yourselves.
So I will start. So my name is Vasant, and I'm from India. I have been with Holly's learning community for almost 2 years.
Only
Oh,
2 years? It
Yeah.
feels like we've known each other longer. 2 years. Wow. Busy 2 years. Lots of progress in two
Yeah.
years' time. Nice. Wow. Hmm.
okay. And let me introduce myself. I am Derya from Turkey. Uh, I guess 1 or 2 years ago, I started to use your website. Um, you know,
With, yeah, the
uh,
prior
Learn
site.
English Worldwide. I think that's
Yes.
yeah,
Mm.
www like this. Yes, but I couldn't continue maintain the course. But now I tried to arrange some time, and then I checked your account on what Skype, and then I found this website, so I signed it. Now, hopefully, I will use it continuously.
Excellent. I hope so too. And I am so, I don't know how much you are aware, Daria, but I had to close loop rather suddenly for health reasons and was almost completely disabled for over a year. And this past month, I've had two medical procedures and lots of changes. And the last procedure just a few days ago, I don't know if it's just the culmination of so many things I've been doing to try and improve, but I feel better the last 2.5 days. I feel better than I have felt in months or years. I feel so
Um,
good again. And I just hope it will hold and continue. But I have not felt like Holly, like me, in a long time. And I'm sort of rejoicing in this. I hope not temporary. I hope I will be on track to better health again. So I had to close the site. I just could not maintain any of it, um, and then lots of things happened in the several months in between, and so I started 7H as a less intense but similar way for us to try and practice English together. So I'm really glad you found us and are trying again. And I'm working this time because I'm not online all day, every day. I'm working with a local literacy group, trying to get more volunteer tutors and also learners of English who have moved to the Charlottesville area to connect and talk with you as well. So I hope we will see more and more activity on 7H soon. But anyway, I'm just so grateful to feel.
Fully, thank you for your explanation. First,
Yeah.
I am really sorry to hear about your illness.
Yeah.
But now I am good because you said I feel better, and I want to know that your energy and your determination makes us inspire. So make us eager to learn English.
A lot of you have inspired me and helped me through these last months, and I appreciate that as well. They've not been easy, but I just so hope. It's so nice. I sort of compare it to when you are jumping into a deep pool of water and you go too deep and you're struggling for air. And finally, you break out of the surface of the water, and that's kind of how I feel this week. I just feel like me again. And I just want it, knocking on wood for good luck. I want it to stay. So anyway, enough of that. I just wanted Vasanth especially to know as well. But we were talking before you joined us about being startled. And Daria shared, I'll let her share again in case you weren't able to hear.
I am sorry. Can I take my notebook? I will write back.
Yes.
I want to take notes.
So you can think of something that startled you recently, Vasanth. What springs to mind when you hear the word startled?
Yes, of course it startled me, but if I share that, it would be like a political reference.
Uh-oh. The news in your country?
No, globally, it's about Facebook crisis, how they mine the data.
Oh, yes, yeah. Truly, the Facebook crisis. I have to admit, I am impressed with Mark Zuckerberg's presence, the way he is reacting publicly. Is more mature. He's always such a boyish looking guy. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I watched some of the clips from the investigation, and he addressed each and every people by saying Senator, Mr. Senator, or Mr. Congress, Miss Congresswoman, like that. So the prefix he used was really astonished me. Yeah, he gave a good respect.
And that level of politeness or respect that's expected normally in such circles has been greatly diminished in the last year or so. But you're right, that's getting us back to politics, which we're trying to avoid. But it is, I don't know as it startled me because I resigned myself years ago to, if I'm going to teach online, I'm going to put myself at risk and people are going to find out things about me that I probably wish they didn't, but it's a risk I decided to take. Yes.
But the thing startled me is they particularly gathered the data to manipulate us. They show particular ads to a particular age of people. So, and when it comes to political campaign, it is way more dangerous. And yeah, we were affected by that for the past two elections, I think.
Yes, probably a lot more than we fully realize. And not just elections, so we can take it away from politics by saying everything. Someone posted recently that I shared on my Facebook page, and found myself with chagrin. I don't know if that's a familiar vocabulary word for you all. And hello to Ivan. But I realized that some of the online posts, surveys, and things that I've answered, silly questions to generate fun conversation, some of the answers I gave were potentially part of people looking for those answers because they were very much the same questions that many sites ask when they ask you for a password clue. So they'll say, what was the name of your first pet? Or where was your mother born? And many of these online things incorporate these sorts of questions so that you give the answers and people will scout them and try to infiltrate your bank accounts and other online sites. So Ivan probably is very aware of all of these risks in his line of work. And I don't know if you know, Daria, and I'm probably not pronouncing your name correctly, but I'll let you say hello and tell your start.
Tell what?
What springs to mind? We're trying to use idioms that have the word spring. So what springs to your mind when you hear the word startled?
No idea.
Come on, you've got 3 kids. They must have startled you with something recently. No,
No.
nothing startles you.
Startled, it's like scared or be surprised, like that, right?
Yeah, more surprised, surprised in a, here comes Gerard. Yay. Hello, Gerard.
Hello.
Startled usually is used for scary-ish things, but it's more the surprise element, and it's very fleeting, temporary, very short gesture. Often when you're cool as a cucumber like you are, you often don't show it like I show it because I startle easily. I'm very sound sensitive. This is a door slamming will make me jump and startle me.
Well, I think it's a part of cultural education and our favorite topic. It's part of gender education because it's what I always teach my boys. You're a man. You don't have to show your emotions. Be quiet.
No,
Yeah.
you don't teach your boys that. Please tell me you don't teach them that.
I don't allow them cry. I say no, it's impossible. You should not cry. No one should see you crying. Only father. That's all.
No. Yes, they should. Crying is a nice, helpful, healthy release.
So I was told I was told not to be startled or not to show that.
So, oh my goodness. So, Daria, you can see that Ivan always adds interesting new angles to our discussions. And I don't know if you've met him or Gerard before, and I am not.
Well, I heard their names,
Yeah.
but I didn't join in the same class.
Okay. So welcome all. I love it when Hangouts fill up with voices. So anything that relates to being startled, or what we've already talked about, or another idiom using some form of the word spring, spring, sprang, sprung, an irregular verb. Had an interesting array of things come in responses so far. We're startled by stink bug, by the Great Wall of China.
Since last week we have a Great Wall of Russia.
Great Wall of Russia?
Yeah. It's like China's firewall. It's you know what is firewall? Firewall it's a complex of approaches that filter traffic between China and external world.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Since last week we have the same.
And I understand that there are threats that is going to grow from other countries' responses to trying to deal with all that technology is throwing at us. So what else startles when you think about the word startled, or questions about anything I've just added to the chat that we've touched on here? That wasn't meant to silence you. I was talking earlier about my health, a spook. Yeah, when something spooks you, that's another synonym for being startled, to be spooked. Something spooks you. I was talking earlier about how I'm feeling better, so I could say I feel like a spring chicken. An expression that people use this time of year when spring is in the air. Spring has not been totally in the air this year. For much of the US, we've had and cold. And so a headline in the paper is spring is in the instead of spring is in the air, spring is in the where is spring? Question from Gerard.
So a person that can be easily startled, how do you call that? You know, a person do you say by surprise and say, wow, you and this person gets startled easily? How do you call that?
Yeah, so I get admonished. I had been admonished many times by my brothers and my mother because I startle easily. And don't be so sensitive, or you're always so sensitive, you're always so touchy. Easily startled is an expression also used. Think of another expression right now. May come to me later. Anything else that you're thinking of?
Squeamish?
Anyone?
A squeamish?
A skittish.
A squeamish. Okay.
Skittish. Skittish. Like Yiddish. Skittish. I call my dog skittish. And I guess you could say that's from startling, but he is skittish when anyone comes too close to him. If we get too close to him or we reach down towards him, he'll back away as though he's afraid we're going to step on him. So skittish definitely has the fear factor to it. A colt, a young...
people?
Say again?
Can we use this adjective for people as well? The girl was
Yes. Yeah. Often, though, when the word skittish is used, when the pressure cooker, when the noise startles or makes him skittish, often when skittish is used for people, often for children, or adults, but the most frequent use that comes to mind is domestic violence victims or sexual abuse victims who will get skittish whenever a certain person, the perpetrator, comes near them, or anyone that looks like the person that's hurting them comes near them. So skittish definitely has a stronger fear underlying. You can be startled without truly being scared, but skittish is usually definitely fear-based. And Gerard, do I hear that you're fighting your annual cold again?
Yes, seasonal.
Allergies or something? Yeah. Hope you feel better soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, so good questions. Yeah. So your cat does not like the pressure cooker sound, huh? Many of the pets we've had have not liked vacuum cleaner sounds. Some pets will try to play with the vacuum cleaner, which makes it harder to vacuum.
Domestic animals are squiddish.
Skittish, not
Skittish.
not quiddish, not
Skittish.
Q,
Skittish.
not KW, but just K.
Skittish.
No W. Yeah. So that's a challenge for you.
I never heard this word before. Skittish. Skittish.
Do you know skit? A
Skit.
small short play is a skit. When you put on a short performance, it's a skit. So maybe starting with skit and then skittish. I have no idea how that relates in meaning, but skit, skittish. Yeah.
So skit is like a sketch.
Sketch, sketch, skittish. But sketch has the CH at the end, and there is
another
no
sound.
Yeah. But just to get you past the KW, there's no KW, just K. Skittish. Yeah. Kit, skit, skittish.
So skittish about the sound of thunder.
Thunder. Oh my goodness.
Thunder.
Yes. Yeah.
Dogs, especially.
Yes. Works and thunder. Still remember Elfin. I haven't talked with her in years, I don't think, but I remember her talking about her dogs and fireworks. And many of us talk about thunder, and our pets, cats and dogs, react in not so happy ways. Many will try to fight their way underneath furniture and hide.
So has the spring arrived in North Carolina?
In North Carolina, I don't know. In Virginia.
Virginia. Sorry.
Virginia, that's all right, where I am. Please don't put me in North Carolina. We're not talking politics today, but that's not my favorite state. I will never live there unless things change drastically. Never consider it. But in Virginia, where politics are bad enough, spring is here.
Virginia? The south or the north?
Yeah, right. So it's almost freezing. We almost had a frost last night, but not quite. Stayed just above freezing. So it's still cold overnight, but beautiful days. We had a beautiful 2 inches of rain the other day, which is wonderful for the plants and trees, and nice working outside weather this week, and I'm feeling good. So I'm excited to get outside and work in the dirt. Is there still snow? Yvonne, you're the only one I think that might still have snow. Any snow out there?
Yeah. We had snow today.
So you're still waiting for spring.
Well, actually, I'm not waiting. I'm escaping.
Where are you escaping to this time, or are you not sharing?
It's not decided yet.
Aha, okay. Anyone else planning to, let's see, how can we use spring? Anyone else springing for vacation? This would mean paying for a vacation. Anyone going to spring for a vacation? Going to pay for a vacation?
I'm on vacation, but I'm not going to leave.
Not to leave.
To leave. I'm not going to leave home.
Going
So
to
how do you
leave home?
leave?
Or you're going to live at home?
So how do you call a person who likes a lot being at home?
Well, when you're on vacation and you choose to stay at home, we call that a staycation. You stay at home. That's a relatively new word people are using. A homebody is what I would call someone who and usually does stay at home. Introvert, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Many people have very active social lives at home, so they're extroverts. They prefer to have people come to them rather than go elsewhere. So you can still be a homebody and be extroverted. Fun questions. Yeah.
Because in Spain because the weather is good, maybe a lot of people, especially male people, go to the bars. There are plenty of bars in Spain, so they don't stay much at home. They always with hanging out with friends, drinking a beer. That's quite common in Spain, and Ivan knows that very well.
Yeah. So you think it's the availability, the weather I can totally understand, having been there once. I can totally understand how people enjoy that lovely Mediterranean breeze and air and feel. I guess it's my age more than anything else. I don't think about planning a vacation. It's not at all what comes to mind. I guess many people do travel for wine or beer or new cocktails. There are all kinds of, in metropolitan areas especially, fancy, expensive alcoholic drinks that are being promoted, and entire bars that are set up for their specialty. I don't think that way. It's sad if that's how you plan a vacation. I'd much rather be outdoors somewhere personally. I do love the outdoor cafes that places with nicer weather have more of. So we talked about spooks earlier, and when you have a favorite place, can say that haunts, that's where you haunt, that's where you often. So what are your favorite haunts? Where do you like to go most of the time?
You mean travel destination?
Can be local or traveling. So my favorite local haunt or plural local haunts would probably all be parks. There are several trail systems and parks near me, and those would probably be my favorite haunts. And the library. I love visiting the library. Vasan?
Yeah, can we use the word haunt for a thought that haunts you, like
Yes.
that?
Yes. So it stays in you. It doesn't leave you. It lives with you a lot of the time. It haunts you, follows you like a shadow. Also, when something weighs on your mind, it's like a heaviness that haunts you or weighs on your mind. Do any of you know what it means to spring someone? Can you think of a context where this would be used? Sometimes you'll hear, let's fly the coop, let's get the heck out of here. And if someone springs you, they release you. So it can be out of a cage, you open the door and an animal bolts out of a cage, or children that have been held inside because it's been raining for 3 weeks and the sun shines and you open the door and out they go. You spring them, you release them. Also used when talking about prison. You spring someone out of jail, out of prison. You release them. Like an emergency exit for an Air Force pilot.
Eject, maybe eject is the word.
Yeah, eject. I don't know as I would use spring in that context. I'm trying to about it a minute. Yeah, I don't know as you would use that in that circumstance. And of course, my mind is also going to the recent accident with Southwest Airline and the other crash in Russia. There have been some unfortunate plane incidents the last few days. Yeah, it somehow doesn't fit in that circumstance that I can think of at the moment. Yeah. It's odd, isn't it, how certain expressions are just not used in all contexts.
So spring has a quite positive meaning, isn't it?
Right, that's what I was thinking. Is that that's why eject has a rather negative connotation. So yes and no, right? When you release someone from prison, there's the negative of having been trapped.
Yeah, but now
positive.
this person will be free, so that's positive.
Right, but also sometimes when you're emergency exit, you're also saved. So there is sometimes positive there as well, but I would not use springs. Yeah. Oh, I just thought of another one. A total change of topic. A spring form pan. Anyone ever heard this? We can talk about food. So a spring form pan, easier to see if you Google it for images, but it has a spring release on it that lets the baked good free and often used for cheesecakes. My mom used to have a spring form pan that we called her cheesecake pan. We always liked seeing it on the counter, knowing what was coming. pens often have that spring release. Take apart a pen and boing, it comes apart and startle you. Bounce across the room, and then you have to hunt for this little tiny spring to put your pen back together again.
And there is a toy, an old toy, the children used to spring. Do you remember this toy?
Oh, pogo sticks.
Mhm.
Fun. Yeah, pogo sticks. Boing, boing. I usually went crash, but they can be fun to use. Yeah. Do you use pogo sticks, or have you in the past? Anyone know pogo sticks? They're a long, 2 handlebars on a long pole, and there's a built-in spring pump. And when you jump with them, it pumps and makes you bounce, and you go up and down and boing and boing and boing. Fail videos, yes, yeah. That's how you could describe my activity on pogo sticks. Fail. Fail and fall.
Nowadays, hoverboards are more popular, and segways as well. Segways.
Segway. I was thinking Segway, but you mean Segway.
Segway.
It took me a minute to make that connection because the pronunciation is the same. Segway. Segway. So Segway, more second syllable, the verb, and the noun segue is more first syllable stress.
In my place, we had a company that rented segways, but they were quite dangerous, and many people broke legs or something, because it's not that easy explaining how to manage this device, and old people especially don't take slopes too steep slopes. Don't go to the beach, because to go to the beach there is a dune, and it's very steep, is very pronounced, and some people fall down and broke their legs or their arm, and next year you told, no, don't bring that here. We are going to lose our customers.
Yeah, my understanding is they are most definitely recommended for flatter, level, even surfaces, not rough and not steep. I've never used one, but like the idea. The most practical application that I've heard of for them is for employees at conference centers. Like for the tech team, when you have people giving presentations and there's something wrong and you've got to get your way quickly to several rooms. And I have seen large conference centers use these for their employees. Dangerous to make sure you don't hit someone or someone doesn't turn around and startle you and knock you over, but does save time. They look like fun to me, but not highly recommended for someone who is a klutz like I am, clumsy. Same with rollerblades. You guys, have any of you ever used rollerblades?
Yeah.
Daria, yes?
I use, but I'm not so good at using that one. I just tried it on.
Did you wear padding, a helmet and pads on your elbows and knees when you went rollerblading?
I just used the not helmet, but the other gadget.
Not a helmet, knee pads, the pads?
Right.
Elbow
Just
pads.
Just to see how it is.
Yeah. I've never tried this either, but often thought I would like to. Not so sure it's smart now that I'm 63 years old. So hard to believe. Dang. Where did those decades go? I feel younger this week than last week. uh,
So in Catalonia,
have any of you been? Sorry. Go ahead.
we are going to celebrate the day of the book and the rose. The 23rd.
Oh, the Book and the Rose is coming again?
Yes, next Monday, on Monday, 23rd of April.
So 7H probably doesn't have a post about that yet. Hint.
I did
so-
one on loop. Very nice costume, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard that one as well.
Ah, do you? You also? And
It's for children.
so in your case, oh, all right.
Bye, Ivan.
On the phone, so I guess something came up. Work from home challenges.
So this festival is there are a lot of stalls selling books and roses. Is it equals this day equals to same Valentine days? Valentine days.
But in Spain, is adults and children?
It's a thing of adult people, but children also get books as well. But especially it's a thing in Catalonia, especially in Catalonia.
So Daria, tell us more about national sovereignty and Children's Day. So definitely children's focused. Is that the same day, Gerard, as yours?
It's the same day, but the celebration is another.
A different event. So tell us about yours, Daria.
I don't know how they celebrate in Russia, but in Turkey we celebrate the day 23rd of April. Especially, it is important for children. We do different celebrations, especially children, have fun. We do some shows that prepared for children in advance. So we gather around, and then children make some shows, performances, and then we watch them. So we enjoy our time. We laugh and have fun. Especially there are lots of children around
Nice.
in colorful dresses.
So Layla must have talked about this at some point.
Yeah, I know. In Ankara, right, Leyla?
She must have. I don't remember this, but I love hearing about these celebrations. We have coming up in May, festival of just in our town, Charlottesville. Vasant, go ahead.
You mean in America, do you celebrate Festival of Cultures?
In Charlottesville, in the city where I live. I'll tell you more in a moment. I want to give Vasant the chance to talk.
Yeah, I was about to make a comment because I saw a picture from Iran, I think Iran or Iraq. It's about books. The booksellers kept the books outside of the store and they leave it when they close the door, as they were. And they said, readers never steal and a stealer never reads. It was like
Readers never steal. Tiny font. I can't see what I'm typing. I should correct that. Read. So those who read are to be trusted. So I'm highly trustworthy. And those who steal, take things, are not those who spend a lot of time reading. How much truth do you think there is to that?
I agree with this quotation.
I see.
Because if you read, you have your own.
You agree? I see. Now I see. I think overall there's some truth, because I think the more people read, and reading is more reflective, then it's one of my concerns that we have less reading happening, or we have quick little snippets that people are in these days and skimming rather than reading. And I think when you read novels or really love to read, you think and reflect more, which usually leads to more passion. Compassion you have, the less likely you are to steal. So I think there is some truth to that. But I think there are probably lots of people who don't read much and also don't steal much. Huh. Would be nice if we could find a cure like that, right?
So do you have in America a book day?
Stop.
Holly, do you have in America?
We have the Festival of the Book. We just ended the Festival of the Book in Charlottesville. I don't know, it's a national literacy day, and the library system has lots of national poetry days. Poetry month, April right now is poetry month, but I don't know of a book day per se. The Festival of Cultures is an event that was started with a grant. I think it's 13 or 14 years now. We've been holding this event in May in our town, and it started from the Learning Center where I used to teach. And we applied for a grant. Our city had just started, had opened an IRC, International Rescue Committee branch office, and we were getting 200 refugees moving into our city every year. And we still are getting refugees every year from different countries, and some challenges with residents who had been living here their entire lives and had not seen too much of other cultures. And this is something that many cities and towns across the country, excuse me, sorry, have been dealing with. I'm going to mute for a minute. Hopefully better. So many places in the US and around the world are dealing with this now, with more and more people from other countries and cultures intermixing, and challenges that come. And so one of the ways we tried to help was by planning this annual Festival of Cultures. And we don't do that much organizing for it because we let the refugees and students in our learning center help plan it, and community members are invited to help plan it. And it's a full day long, 10, I think it's 10 to 6.
I can't hear you, Holly.
I can't hear as well.
Uh-oh.
No, now.
I must have muted again, sorry. So it's a full day long with music and performances and food and information displays and crafts, and people sell sometimes or just show information about their country and what they're proud of. Their favorite foods are cooked for you to taste. And it's just a fabulous celebration of the differences and sameness among us. And it's a lot of fun.
It's more or less the
And
same as Turkey. You know, celebrations are similar to each other.
yeah. Unfortunately, the mood doesn't always last. People come because they can see a showcase of culture, and then that's enough culture for the year, and they go back to their little worlds of not interacting. But it has brought new volunteers to help around town, and curiosity. I mean, it's fun, and most of the events are completely free, which is not so typical anymore. And free always brings people in. And so it's a day to learn and smile and feel good about the world. Yeah. Then we go back to reality. But people wear their traditional apparel, both every day and traditional clothing for dances and things. But drums and guitars and storytellers, it's a fun day for all ages. I used to go every year and make garlands of flowers for mostly kids to wear as they walked around the festival, because it's in the spring when there are lots of flowers. And I love flowers, so I haven't done that in a few years now, but just a pleasant day. Many festivals are a chance to escape, right? for a moment, for a few hours, believe in a better world.
Holly,
Yes.
I wanted to ask you something about your new car.
Uh-huh.
Do people take picture of your car?
I haven't seen anyone take a photo yet, but I do see lots of people pointing and smiling. And I was at the post office yesterday, and as I walked out, there were two women about my age smiling and laughing. And I don't know if you've seen my blog post, Daria.
What's special about the car?
I have a blog post on the site where you can see photos. But Vasant, Gerard, how would you answer that question? What's special about my new car?
Your car has eyelashes around the lights.
I have eyelashes on my car. That's one thing different. I still have not seen anyone else with eyelashes on their car except in photos, but I've not encountered anyone. What else is special about my car?
Some graffiti? I don't know if I could call graffiti.
Graffiti. No, that would be insulting my car. There's the link to my blog post. You can see some photos. Number plates, but I don't have numbers on my plate.
War plate. A war.
Specialty plates. I don't know if I've posted the newest. Now
I just saw the car. It's very sweet. Cute.
I love it.
You just want to get it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's the first time second time in my life that I've truly loved my car. Yeah.
Did you design it? Did you
I
yourself?
I did. I spent lots of time
Amazing.
deciding what I wanted and where.
Could we call your car conspicuous?
Conspicuous, definitely.
Conspicuous.
It is very intentionally conspicuous. So decals, I would not use graffiti. I never remember. 2 F's, I think. I think the first spelling. I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the spelling of graffiti. I always need spell check. But graffiti is usually, it can be beautiful, but it's hand painted, and mine are decals. I do not have the artistic talent to draw so well, but I did choose things that meant something to me and maybe to the world, trying to.
But did you paint those decals?
No, I ordered them. Yeah.
Okay.
I had, for the first time in maybe the first time ever, had a totally unexpected and very nice cash gift given to me at Christmas time, and given totally freely for me to use, with the request that I used it for myself more than for others. And I used a lot of it for others, but I used it to help get this car and order the decals, and I ordered 75 plants and shrubs for my flowers and shrubs for my yard that I'll be putting in. And so those are gifts for other people too. I figured I'm helping myself and hopefully brightening a few people's days as well.
I know at your home you have a garden, but do you have a greenhouse?
I don't have a greenhouse yet.
Yes.
It's on the list of maybe projects. But truly, I don't deserve a greenhouse because I'm not disciplined. You know this. I struggle with discipline, and to maintain a healthy greenhouse really needs discipline. So I probably shouldn't have. I'm actually hoping that I will have a cold frame. I don't know how much any of you garden, but I'm hoping to have a place to store plants and start plants early. It's like a mini greenhouse, sort of. Maybe someday. Do you have greenhouses, any of you? No. A lot of work to maintain. But also people don't get to enjoy them unless they come visit, right? I love putting things out where people notice. So I added bought a lot of fragrant flowers and plants this year. So I'm hoping to walk down my driveway with my nose up in the air, trying to figure out what I'm catching in the breeze. I see someone visiting us. Hello.
Sorry, my husband just
No
came.
problem.
And he's a bit surprised what are you doing.
So,
I'm in the live lesson.
and an hour has gone by and I still feel good. Oh, I am so happy to feel better. So I just want it to stay. But a fun hour. I think I'm going to share our chat notes today. Lots of things talked about, worth thinking about and posting about. And I hope both of you guys will answer Daria's question that she posted in the photos on 7H. Make her
Okay.
feel welcome by responding. Put the pressure on. So thank you all. Any last questions or comments?
Well, we thank you. It was really a good session. So we learned some new vocabulary.
Good.
Now I think it's time to go for us.
Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.